The Pennington County Sheriff's Office is involved in the School Resource Officer program in 4 different school districts. This spring, they were planning to train in a new supervisor for their program, but just as the pandemic threw a wrench into sports and graduation, it also put the brakes on that transition to a new leader. And just as students, teachers, and parents are dealing with an uncertain path forward, so are the school resource officers that dedicate their days to being at school with the students along the way in Pennington County. School resource officers work hard day in, day out, dedicated to students, genuinely caring about the kids they work with. So when school doors closed early this year, it was tough on them too.
We help try and provide that stability and that routine and that friendly face that they see every day at school, and help know that they're safe and feel safe so that they can learn.
The Sheriff's Office has public service announcements where there is no mistaking the SROs love what they do.
We give out lots of hugs, high fives, and helpful advice.
We are an unusual hybrid of counselor, educator, and cop.
And they take video of the special events the resource officers put on for the kids.
We're kind of starting the first night of Badge Buddies.
Chris Heislip has been the supervisor of the program for the past 4 years and absolutely loved it. The Sheriff's Office oversees SROs in portions of Rapid City, Hill City, the Douglas School District, and Wall.
I have an office at Stevens. I also have an office down in Hill City and one at Douglas Middle School.
But Heislip recently got promoted from sergeant to lieutenant and new responsibilities. And this month, Sergeant Scott Seitz was scheduled to train in as the new supervisor, overseeing a program that covers a lot of territory.
We would shadow and teach and introduce him to all of the school personnel in all of our districts that we cover.
We were supposed to be spending about 3 weeks together.
And, well, that didn't happen. So we're going to have to go to Plan B.
Plan B means delaying the training and transition until this fall. Seitz has been with the Sheriff's Office since 2011, but the pandemic has led us into uncharted waters with nobody sure what to expect when it's time for schools to reopen.
I'm 100% certain we'll be fine on the other side, but what that looks like, what that fine is, I don't know.
When school buildings were locked up, SROs were reassigned to help with other parts of the Sheriff's Office mission, like working patrol.
While at the same time still sticking with the schools and helping distribute lunches, computers.
Every single one of them, I've heard talk about the kids. Kids that they're concerned about, kids that they have enjoyed working with.
It is disappointing that we don't get to do some of the normal milestones that we normally would associate with high school. But we'll get through it, and we'll come out stronger. It'll make you a better person, which is more resilience, and that's what we need.
And somehow, just seeing the SROs' smiling faces on the promos.
Whatever happens during the school year, we're here to support the students, the staff, and the family. So we encourage you to get to know your school resource officer.
And the commitment on the faces of these two stuck in limbo supervisors, you get the feeling they're right in their message to students, which is, we'll get through this, and we'll get through it together. Part of an SRO's job is being a counselor and a mentor, which will come in handy this fall. If you've met someone cool along the way, please call or email us to let us know. Of course, the Rapid City Police Department has school resource officers, as does Box Elder, so those agencies split the duties to make sure all the schools end up getting covered.
I'm curious, has Sergeant Seitz always been interested in working with youth?
You know, it's an interesting thing that you would ask that. Actually, when he started about a decade ago, he wanted to be involved with the Unified Narcotics Enforcement Team. So a much different set of folks that he'd be working with. But he worked in criminal investigations for a few years. And at that time, he worked with families and kids. And he said it just kind of clicked. And he knew that that's who he wanted to work with. And that's what he wanted to do. And he will. Just a change in the timing.
Definitely. I think that life has its own plans and timing for us, and if you honor it, you're going to end up where you're happy.
Wise words of wisdom.